sad commentary that seminars on what to do in an active shooter situation, seminars a sellout. Plano Police spokesman, Officer David Tilley, with us. You do burglary seminars, I know, you do financial protection seminars. You have some people show up to those. You offered this one in December, and it was a sellout. It was.
We were not expecting the turnout that we had. In fact, we had to expand our room even further because we were getting such a positive response.
So you've got 2 more coming up, and we'll have details on those coming up in just a minute. But you had an incident the other day, not a shooting, thank God, but a kid accused of bringing a gun to one of your 3 senior high schools, Plano West Senior High School.
Mm-hmm. We did, and you know, one of the things we talk about is the importance of communication with our community, the partnerships that we engage with them. This was a situation where it was reported to our school resource officer through our Campus Crime Stoppers program that there was potentially a person on campus with a handgun. Our school resource officer began his investigation, was able to make contact with the student, locate the handgun, and place him into custody. And fortunately, all that was done prior to any major event occurring.
Right, which says an awful lot about the relationship that those campus officers who are there every school day develop with the students in the middle schools and the high schools and the senior high schools. Let's talk about what folks hopefully are going to learn at this, these 2 upcoming seminars. One of the first things, and you're a police officer, obviously you're a police officer, you walk into a new place, whether you're on duty in uniform, off duty in plain clothes, maybe with your family, it might be a restaurant, it might be a movie theater, and it's called awareness. And it's not necessarily being paranoid, but it's being aware.
It is. It's the situational awareness that when you walk into a place, to know that there's always a potential of something bad happening, so you plan ahead for this, you prepare. Whether you're in a mall, whether you're in a restaurant, wherever you are, know your exits, kind of know and kind of see what's going on. You know, we as law enforcement officers, many times when we set into a restaurant, we face ourselves when we sit down where we're facing the entrance, because we want to see what's happening in the event that something bad happens and we need to take action.
Right, right. And it might not be somebody with a gun, it could be a fire. You know, by the same token, you need to know where the exits are and what am I going to do in case something bad happens.
Exactly right, and that's one of the things that we go through our preparedness training that we have coming up.
Right, and it's kind of a 3-pronged approach that you will talk about. What are the 3 things if something terrible happens, somebody comes in and starts shooting?
Well, I mean, we go through the Department of Homeland Security's Run, Hide, Fight. That's one of the things that we go into in-depth explanation as far as how that works. We have our Plano 911 come in, talk about the way that their system works. We have the law enforcement aspect of it, and we also have the Plano Fire Rescue come in and talk about the Stop the Bleed program and using a tourniquet and trying to figure out as far as how you're going to react in the event something happens. Our goal on this is typically we're the first responders, but the people that are involved in these incidents, they are the first line of defense. So they need to know what to do because their actions can determine whether or not somebody's going to wind up living or dying in the end.
Right, and sadly, you know, in schools, it's not just fire drills and tornado drills anymore, it's active shooter drills. And they learn these same 3 strategies, run, hide, fight.
They do, and we've heard the term active shooter for so long. We try to expand on that and understand that it's not always a shooter, it's an active threat. Because it's not always guns. It can be knives or some other type of weapon.
And so the run, which get the heck out of there.
Yes.
Right. Hide if you can find a safe place to do so. If there's no other. And then as a last resort, if all else fails, do whatever you can to fight. And that's where it's situational awareness. Look at what's around you. What could I use?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we do cover. In fact, one of the areas that Lieutenant Lunt talks about is when you find that place to hide, you know what's around you in case that somebody confronts you. You have something that you can distract them with. You have something that you can defend yourself with. Sometimes you don't have anything but your hands and your feet, but he talks about the importance of being able to use that as well. Right,
right. And in school, it might be a book, it might be a backpack, it might be a chair, whatever you can use to protect yourself.
Correct.
Remarkable. Is this seminar only for the citizens of Plano? I know that's your first obligation, is to serve the citizens of Plano.
It is, but this is open to everybody, because not only do we have residents, we have people that come through our city to visit. We have people that work in our city, so our goal is to try to teach everyone and give everyone these tools, because it can happen anywhere.
Yep.
And so it's one of those things that we're in law enforcement work together in this, and we try to keep everyone safe.
Okay, so that's a good drill for all of us today. When you go into a new place, be aware and just think about, what if something bad happens?
Practice that, and I think over time you'll get down, and I think it'll be something that could possibly save yourself from injury or death later on.
Right. Okay, there's the information. Coming up on